I chose the theme or the topic to be 3 M's, and it was meditation, money, and menopause. And while I have already to some extent spoken about meditation, and that is not going to be the last that I speak about it, and I have spoken about menopause. In fact, I even made a Zonka video about menopause, and that won't be the last you hear of me speaking about menopause either. While I have touched upon the topic of money this Wednesday, today, on my take, I'm going to talk about money. So hi, my name is Karma, and for those of you who are watching this for the first time, every Wednesday I do a video called #MyTake, and I give my 2 bits about what I'm curious about and what is my opinion about ideas and concepts. And as mentioned already, I wanted to speak about money. And the reason why I wanted to speak about money was I was recently called a Marwari. And it was meant in jest, and I took it as a compliment. Marwaris are, if I'm not mistaken, they are originally from Rajasthan, and they are known to be shrewd businessmen and known to be prudent with money and money-minded. And the reason why I was called that was because for those of you who have spoken to me in the past 2 to 3 years, after I crossed over to my 40, and that is according to Western research and polls and statistics, it's so predictable. I didn't know I was so predictable. I started to pay serious attention to my personal finance. The day when I was called a Marwari I was sharing with my friend about how Marwaris are so good with their money, and they are especially good because they have, amongst many, many great practices that they have, one great practice that they have is the counter is, I think, what most of us do. We get our salary or our monthly income, and we spend it throughout the month, and at the end of the month, if anything is left over, then we save it or we invest it if there are any avenues to do so. But I found out the Marwari hack of making money is, before they start spending, as soon as they get their salary or their income in the beginning of the month, what they do is they save first or they invest first, and then they make do with what remains. And I have found this to be a great practice. This is a hack that I have started to do myself, and thus I am the Bhutanese Marwari, and I am very, very happy to share that it really works. But besides this incident and this story about money, the reason why I wanted to speak about money is, back in the days, before Bhutan became developed, or the correct term is that we are now a developing nation, before we reached the status that we did, and before there was motorable roads in Bhutan, we needed to know how to farm, needed to know how to rear animals, we needed to know where the fresh water was, how to pick wood, firewood. Basically, we needed a lot of knowledge, information to be able to survive in this world. Now, it is my take and it's my understanding that all of these lessons or all of this knowledge or all of these skills and practices gets now condensed into being able to procure or avail of these services with money. And the irony of our lives and of our, especially here in Bhutan, not just in Bhutan, because I've been consuming a lot of financial content for the past 3 years, and I see the predicament or the problem is the same, be it in America, Europe, or in neighboring India, as well as in Nepal, Bangladesh, or Pakistan. We need to, first of all, educate ourselves about money, because like I shared, in the past you needed various knowledge and skills, but now all of this is condensed into being able to get all of this services and products with having access to money. And the sad fact is that while there might be economics as a subject in school, and I have to also admit that I am not really familiar with the current curriculum here in Bhutan, but I think I'm safe to assume that we are still not taught personal finance. Without educating ourselves, there are really no avenues of finding out how to know how to save, how to spend. And in earlier My Take videos, I spoke about, which seems to have got a lot of attention and views, is I was speaking about the difference between assets and liabilities. And in this My Take, I wanted to speak, if I don't know how much time I have left, I wanted to speak about emergency funds. In my earlier videos, I spoke about a conscious spending plan. I talked about fixed cost, and I spoke about investments, then I spoke about savings. So very quickly, your fixed costs are your costs that you have to spend in a month. So it could be your rent, your utilities bill, your fuel, your subscription, your mobile bill, your data bill, and all of that, your groceries. And basically, what you do is you multiply that. If you're a single person, the thumb rule is you multiply whatever that fixed cost, whatever that lump sum comes to, and you multiply it by 3. So basically, you have an emergency fund for 3 months. And if you're a family man or a woman, if you're a family, then the safest, the base should be at least 6 months. So you multiply your fixed cost with 6 months into 6, or you multiply it with 9, or you multiply it with 12. I will definitely speak more about it, but it looks like I am going to be running out of time. So yeah, from many things that I learned in my economics class in Yangchipu, what I remember is money is what money does. So analyze and realize, and I'll catch you in the next one.